Hey mama, I'm coming to you with a very quick episode today, but with a whole heck of a lot of intention behind it. If you clicked on this title, it probably means that you need this episode. So please turn off all distractions because I want just 5 minutes of your time today so that I can pour into your heart and your soul and your spirit, okay? You are more than worth it, and I am really honored to talk to you about what you can do when you loathe, when you hate, when you just can't stand the condition of your postpartum body. I promise you, these are not just foo fluff. This is actually some practical things you can do starting the moment that you get off this podcast. So today, to help you feeling better in your skin. Hey mama, welcome to the Energized Mama podcast, the podcast designed exclusively for moms navigating the challenging yet pivotal years of parenting children aged 5 and under. Are you longing to raise good, godly kids, all while preserving your own well-being and energy? Do you find yourself thinking, how can I keep up with my little ones, or how can I raise them to be loving and godly? I'm Cheyenne, and I've walked exactly in your shoes. Honestly, on some days, I'm still there. I know what it's like to face the daily demands of motherhood and wish for more energy to be the loving, godly mom I aspire to be. I've been there with a strong-willed toddler and a desire to balance being a devoted wife, a mom, a stepmom, and an entrepreneur. I'm here to tell you that it is possible to raise your children with strong values and boundless love, all while nurturing your own energy and well-being. In this podcast, you'll find valuable insights on managing your time and boosting your vitality. You'll gain practical tips for disciplining your children with grace and wisdom. And you'll join me in the journey of raising your kids to be good, godly individuals. My mission is to help you thrive as a mom while experiencing the joy of watching your children grow in faith and character. We'll explore how you can maintain your energy because the most godly, loving mom is the one who takes care of herself too. So go ahead, mama, grab those headphones, pour yourself that refreshing green smoothie, and get ready to be #momspired, because rest assured, you're no longer alone on this incredible journey of motherhood. Before I dive into these 3 very intentional tips, I want to give you a little bit of background so you know who the heck is talking to you today. Maybe this is your first episode of the Energized Mama podcast, or maybe your 50th, but wherever you find yourself or whenever you find yourself. So I wanted to officially share with you a little bit about my story. So I'm coming to you in the year of 2024, and I am now 8 months postpartum with my second baby. I've been pregnant 3 times. I have 1 sweet little angel in heaven, and then my 2 boys here on earth. And I'm also a bonus mom of a 15-year-old teenage girl. So I know a thing or two about what it's like to feel completely lost sometimes, not just in your roles, but in your body. Before I was pregnant with my first son, Mason, which was 3.5 years ago, I had quite a tumultuous journey with my weight. Ever since I was a little girl, I had definitely would have been declared overweight, and then you get into my teen years and I was obese. I was 50, 60, 70, up to all the way in my college years, 100 pounds overweight. And it just felt like no matter what I tried to do, no matter how much willpower I had, I just couldn't shake it. That was until I was 27 years old. I was finally ready to deal with the emotional and the spiritual side of weight loss. And that's just a little bit of a free tip there, because that is ultimately what led me to long-lasting change. Because when I finally acknowledged those things and of course continue to do the things physically that I've been trying to do for years, I shed the weight. So I lost 100 pounds, and when I met and married my husband, I was at almost the smallest of my life. But then a year into our marriage, we had both put on a little bit of married weight, only about 10 pounds, but then I got pregnant with our first son, had a very healthy pregnancy, but still put on 54 pounds. And it took me about 2 years to lose about 45 of those pounds. And then right before I got pregnant with our second son, I trimmed up even more and lost like 5 more. So when I got pregnant with my now 8-month-old, I was feeling on top of the world. I was feeling, oh my gosh, so centered, so balanced. I had started going back to an actual gym. I'm such a home workout fan, but in this season, my husband and I got a gym membership. I was doing classes. I was working out with heavy weights. I was eating really great, nutritious food. I was getting all in the flow. I was feeling so great. And then that's probably why I got pregnant. And now my postpartum journey this time around has been completely different than my first time. My first postpartum journey, I put on those 54 pounds and then gave birth to my son and slowly but surely began to lose the weight. It didn't come off quick, but it came off. Where with my son, Nakoa, who's now 8 months, I have steadily actually put on weight postpartum, post giving birth to him, and it has been really hard to get off. At this point, I have only lost about 5 to 10 pounds. I kind of keep juggling it back and forth. So I am the heaviest I've ever been since meeting my husband, and the heaviest I've been in about 12 years since I first really started to conquer my weight loss journey. So why do I share this with you guys? What's this all about? Well, I really promise you this episode is about you. However, I want to share with you that I'm not some fitness guru coming at you with total perfection. I'm not someone who's never struggled with weight. I'm not someone who's always had rock hard abs. And in fact, I'm someone who's also not in my dream healthiest body right now. I am probably just like you if you're listening to this episode. So please know that these 3 tips I have come from my own personal walk, my own personal journey. But I'll also say is that I'm not someone who's put on a bunch of weight and never lost it. That I do have a track record with, that I have lost the weight. I have done this before, and where I've had to switch some things up because some of the things that have worked before for me haven't been working. These 3 things, no matter where you're at, no matter what you've tried before, I promise you will show you some movement and improvement. So here we go. I'm going to dive into the first tip, and I'm just so honored that you're still here with me. All right, here we go, mamas, jumping right into tip number 1. So tip number 1, what to do when you hate your postpartum body. And I have to say, postpartum body can be anything postpartum. Some people are 5 years postpartum, post their last baby, and they still are living in this body, right? That just doesn't feel like themselves, that just doesn't look the same before baby. So first and foremost, I want you to do, right? All of these things, all these 3 tips are going to be in action, right? It's going to be in what you do. And sometimes doing does have to involve just sitting or whatever, however you do this first tip, but I'm talking about doing the affirmations. Yes, affirmations, right? So this is in the mind. So I'm not talking about anything in the kitchen or anything to do with working out right now. It's got to start in the mind. So I'm sure you've heard this one, and you know what? I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it really is so important. There is such power in our words. One of my favorite books of all time is called Girls with Swords by Lisa Bevere. And her whole book, if I could sum it up in a few sentences, is basically emphasizing the power of God's word in the Bible and how it is intentionally called a sword. Because like a sword, it does nothing if you leave it in the side of your, on your body in its sheath, right? If you don't wield your sword, if you don't actually take it out and use it, it's not going to defeat your enemy. And sometimes the biggest enemy in our lives are not those around us, is not culture. It is the organ that's between our 2 ears, right? It's our mind, it's ourselves. We can be our own worst enemy. So that's why what I want you to do is I want you today to choose the things you love about yourself, okay? Even if that's a struggle right now, ask your husband, what are the things he loves most about yourself? Ask your little ones, hey sweetie, what do you love about mommy? What do you love that mommy does with you? And I promise you that will also feed your soul as well, just hearing these things from your loved ones. But what I want you to do is choose those things. Choose 1, 2, 3. Start with just a few and attach I am statements to them. So for instance, say you notice that you are just really patient. You can say, I am patient. Say you've been told or you know about yourself that you're really strong. Like you can pick up both of your toddlers in your arms and carry them. I am strong. I am loving. I am forgiving. Whatever it is, just say it out loud to yourself. And I want you guys to take on the challenge and do that at least 1 or 2 times a day. I promise you're going to watch your view of yourself transform. You will start to see these things come alive in your soul and your spirit. And chances are the view in the mirror is going to change too, because you're going to start to believe in yourself. That's going to ultimately change your actions for what you're going to need to do for tip 2 and 3. And tip number 2. So I promised you they're all going to have to do with a do, right? They're all going to have to do with action, right? I should say they all had to do with verbs, right? It's what you do. Just like Nike says, just do it. So today Cheyenne is telling you just do it. So first and foremost, you're going to rock that mindset, right? You're going to do the affirmations and you're going to come up with I am statements for yourself. Secondly is I want you to do movement that makes you feel good. Yes, not bad. I don't care if that means you need to put on the Macarena and you need to dance, okay? If you need to bust out a super slow yoga session where you just lay in mountain pose, or what is that? Yeah, corpse pose on the floor for 30 minutes. If that's what makes you feel good today, that's what you need to do, okay? Especially if you're in this state of, I don't like myself, I don't want to even look at myself in the mirror. We first need to bring movement to your body that's going to make you feel good. There will be time for those intense workouts. There will be time for you to hit new goals, to run faster, to lift heavier. But right now, it's most important that you just move and that you do it in something that makes you feel good. If you like that sore feeling, great, like go for a workout that, uses weights. Like maybe, you love maybe, and also it's important to do something that you feel good in right now. So like say you used to love CrossFit, that was definitely me. I loved pushing my body in that way. But if you now are doing it and you just feel like exhausted and broken, try something else. Like give yourself permission to honor where you're at right now. It doesn't mean that you'll never do CrossFit again. Maybe it's just not meant for you right now. Say yoga totally bores you, right? Then join in an aerobics class. I get it. There's some friends I have that are like, I cannot sit and do these slow poses. My mind wanders and I just can't do it. Well, then join something that's a little more fast paced. It's going to move your body, whatever it is, dancing, swimming, climbing, swinging. You can do this with your kids at the park. Do whatever feels good to you right now. And I promise you, your body will thank you for it. Can you believe that we have full on stepped into a brand new year? It's been a wild ride, hasn't it? I mean, even motherhood with all of its joys can also feel like a never ending roller coaster. But here's the real talk, right? You are not alone in this journey. Do you ever find yourself yearning for a way to just reignite your vitality, to balance the demands of motherhood? It can be so draining, leaving you emotionally exhausted. How about finding a way to revitalize your energy? Imagine having that boundless energy that you had in your 20s, and not just for your little ones, but for every facet of your life, even your husband. And how about reconnecting with yourself? I feel that it is time to rediscover your dreams amidst the beautiful chaos of motherhood, mama. Believe me, I've walked the same path. I've felt the same struggles, and I understand the desire to just crave more. Motherhood is incredible, but so are your personal dreams. You are worth pursuing those dreams. I want to help you combat overwhelm, the stress, the never-ending to-do list. It really is time for you to finally break free from the cycle of overwhelm, sister. How about embracing healthy habits? Let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's shed light on the habits that genuinely uplift your energy and well-being. It's time for you to craft a realistic plan. No more wondering or wandering without direction. You deserve a strategic, tailored blueprint designed just for you. Let's reignite unshakable energy. You can be that vibrant mama, radiating energy while caring for your little ones. Really quickly, before I keep going on a roll there, I want you to picture this. What if each day you woke up not just surviving, but thriving and with energy to spare? What if date nights with your husband became cherished rituals and not just, rare occasions? And what if me time was no longer a distant memory, but an actual integral part of your daily life? And what if you had a straightforward, tailor-made plan that reignited your energy and allowed you to be that vibrant mama you long to be, all while giving your kids the love and care they deserve? Well, that's basically the heart of the program I designed called the Energized Mama Method. It's your personalized roadmap to reclaim your life from the chaos and infuse achievable, real world energy into your routine. Here's what you're about to learn. You're going to learn to manage your stress and ignite energy. You're going to discover really practical strategies to reduce the stress in your life and elevate your energy realistically. You'll embrace a super simple, personalized plan that nurtures new energy boosting habits without compromising your precious time with your kids or demanding monumental commitments. We've all been there, right? You sign up for this method, you're going to walk away with crystal clear vision. You won't be confused anymore, and you're going to know exactly where to focus. You're also going to have a roadmap that will change, that will actually help you know how to change, and it'll be clear and within reach. And ultimately, probably my most important and the thing that I'm most excited about is that you're just going to possess the self-assurance in yourself that's been missing, that will be needed to make long-lasting transformations. So mama, if all this feels amazing to you, do not wait anymore. Get ready to bid farewell to that overwhelm, right? Like recharge yourself throughout the day so that you can go to bed satisfied. And I'm really, really happy to let you know that throughout January, you can grab an exclusive deal on my method, 10% off. And you get 3 bonus trainings to supercharge your journey. But the clock is ticking. This offer stands only until February 1st. And after that, it's gone. And you're going to miss out on your chance to transform your life. Don't let the chaos of motherhood overwhelm you any longer. Reclaim your identity, revive your energy, and experience a life beyond just being a mom. I promise you, it's what God wants for you. If you're ready to say yes and no to missing out on this any longer, go head over to energyformoms.com and secure your exclusive offer today before it vanishes on February 1st. Again, that's energyformoms.com. The time is now, mama. Let's embark on this transformative journey together. And last but not least, ready for the final do? So we're going to do the affirmations, right? We're going to say those I am statements. I am patient. I am strong. I am loving. I am awesome, right? Then you're going to do the movement, right? Do the movement that makes you feel good. Right now, a little extra side note is I'm doing these things called somatic movements where they actually look and feel super goofy. You're like moving and swaying your body and basically kind of partially like twerking on the ground, but you're having fun. You know, these are like exercises I wouldn't necessarily want to do in a gym, but when I'm in the privacy of my garage and I'm in my own home workouts, what the whole mentality behind these workouts is like basically allowing negative emotions to leave your body. And so if you want to know more about those kind of movements, please reach out to me, or definitely go ahead and come join my private Facebook community, because I'm doing a special on them this week where I'm talking more about them and how they've really unleashed just negative emotions in my body and how I'm starting to feel less tension in my body. All of those things. So I digress, right? So it's important that you find movement, not that feels good to Cheyenne, but that feels good to you. And I want to hear about it. I want you guys to reach out and tell me what movement makes you feel good, right? And don't be afraid to try something new. Probably, especially if you have been stuck for a season, if, you know, say you've been trying different things and you just are not satisfied with how your body looks and feels right now, definitely need to move it in a new and different way. So the last tip is to definitely do make and eat food that fuels you, right? Come on, mama. Don't settle for the quick, easy, and cheap food, because you are not quick, easy, and cheap, right? You're better than that. You're better than that. And, you know, your kids are too. I bet you if you're like most moms I know, your kids are probably eating better than you are. I know so often mamas make the extra effort to get their kids organic or get their kids enough protein, and then they're snacking over here on chips, or they're getting the quick takeout or the delivery. And you know what? And maybe both of you, maybe your kids are also eating that way too. And you know what? That's okay. There's no judgment here, but it is about making that shift, right? You know that food is meant to fuel us, right? Not just to fill us. And sometimes we go to it for the wrong reason. Sometimes, you know, I've even noticed in my sweet little 3.5-year-old that he is continually asking for food in times where I'm really discovering he's just bored. And it's amazing to see that even in his young little body, and to reflect back on myself and then the food culture around him and who else just eats out of boredom. So if you're there, That's okay. You know what? We all are not perfect in this journey, right? But what's important is that you start eating foods that are going to make you feel good, right? At the end of the day, that you're like, wow, like I felt so energetic. I didn't feel slow. I didn't feel exhausted. I didn't feel so heavy and full after a meal. If you are eating things like that, it's really time to look at it and start to change things up and to spice things up a little bit. You also want to think of it in this way, that your food can really affect you spiritually. And not to mention that another food that you need in your life is spiritual food, right? You need to be pouring into your spirit because you want to nourish your soul too. So it's like, what words, again, are you speaking over yourself? What movement are you bringing to yourself? What food are you putting in your body? Are you doing all those things? Are you making those choices like you love yourself or like you don't love yourself, right? And to end this episode, I just want to encourage you that if you are struggling to do all these things at once, I know it can be overwhelming. I know as a busy mom, it's really, really hard to keep all these things in balance without feeling overwhelmed, right? There's so many food choices out there. And if you're anything like me and you've been following this podcast, I can guarantee you also care about nurturing your own soul, but also your kids' souls as well. And trying to teach your kids about God is not an easy endeavor. There's a lot of different challenges there, trying to communicate your kids the message that they can understand in a way they can understand, and also counteracting culture. There's a lot out there. So if you want to kill two birds with one stone and actually do both of those things, if you want to nourish your kid and yourself's body and soul by teaching them scripture and asking them really intentional, valuable questions to make sure that they understood the scripture, they understand the story, and at the same time make simple and yummy foods that are going to fuel you both. Well, I created my own cookbook. It's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. It's a cookbook and a devotional for mamas and kids. It's called To Need and Know. And I just released it at the end of last year. And right now I'm having a 10% off sale. Just want to give mamas a little bit extra support. It is in an ebook format right now. And later this year, I'll be releasing it in a hard copy. But if you need help in this area, please definitely let me know. Go ahead and scroll to the show notes below and I'll have a link to how you can actually get the cookbook for yourself. You can also visit my website at theenergizedmama.com and you can go ahead and look and flip through some pages of the ebook and check it out for yourself. I've also posted some of the recipes on my Instagram. I'm really passionate about this, again, because I'm on my own journey here and I want to help you in your own. So again, please don't be a stranger. You can come join my private Facebook community that I mentioned earlier in the episode. You can find us at momnationcommunity.com, and it's a private community of moms just like you that have that focus of wanting to reclaim who they are now that they're a mom, reclaim their body, reclaim their spirit, and figure out their role as a mother and as a woman in this world, and figure out what is all that supposed to look like and mean. We figure it out together in a non-judgmental atmosphere. Thank you, ladies, for being here with me. I wish you the best of luck. I'm praying for you over your goals, and I look forward to joining you on another episode of the Energized Mama podcast.